Hey y'all, it's Key Trades with the Money Printers LLC team. Right, today we're going to go over May 23rd's full trading day recap, and I'm going to run you through my analysis and how I was able to call out pretty much the majority of the moves in today's session. Right, and this is using the SMC and ICT concepts. Right, if you don't like it, you can click out of this video. Again, there's a lot of hate towards it, a lot of hype towards it. All that's irrelevant. It works for me, it works for our team. We're able to execute with efficiency and precision. That's all that matters. Right, so coming into my day's plan, let's pop it up here. Again, here's the key point I want to talk about. The longs and the short plan both had 18,928 into the 4-hour fair value gap. Right, looking for that retrace to the 4-hour fair value gap, most importantly. Right, and I said it's hard to see a short trade, but there is room lower to gap fill to 18,844, right? And then I'm looking at that 1-hour fair value gap. If we see selling through, then we can see that. And looking here, 6:31 in the morning, I said market was ripping through the 1-hour fair value gap, so we should see a rebalance to 18,928 sell side, right? Pop it onto the charts now. Again, coming in the day, right? We looked at none of this action here. All right, that's all day's rain. This is all I saw. Here's a 4-hour. This is all I saw was we had this sell side level here, has called out 18,928, and then we had this fair value gap, right? What gap am I looking at in the market? I'm looking at the gap from 3 p.m. right yesterday. This gap here never got filled. So this is the gap we are looking at on the market. Label it in. There it is there. Right, so coming on the 1 hour, right, as called out, we're ripping through the 1-hour fair value gaps, right? This is 1 minute into the market open, so I know we can see 18,928 hits 9 minutes later. So let's go on the charts and see what I saw. Right, here's the 1 hour, right? These are the 1-hour fair value gaps I'm looking at into the open, right? And now let's slide through to the 1 minute chart, right? So here is market open here. As you can see, this 1 hour premium, we're already sliding through it the first candle down. So once I see the second one get absolutely no sort of buying here, I know market's going to look to rebalance to this 4 hour, right? Again, 18,928, 4 hour rebalance in the sell side, right? Because we have narrative. We have narrative to rebalance. We bought up to new all-time highs. If we see selling through, we see no respect to the 1 hour fair value, we're running lower. Furthermore, if we go on the charts, right, swing low to swing high, right, where does discount lie? Pretty much in line with that 18,928 sell side level. So we have narrative, a sell side level, filling an unfilled imbalance plus discount of the range. So when we see selling, we know we're headed there first. Let's go back on the 1 minute. As you can see, right, since we did not find buying at this 4-hour fair value gap, what did I call next? Right, gap filled to 1844 on watch at 6:49 a.m. Right, called it here. Because we failed to find buying and we started seeing selling come in, I know that market will look to fill this gap lower, which we did nicely. And here was the long setup that we broke down and called out, right? Understand that we already took the 928 sell side. We've already sold down and filled the gap. So then I can look at a reversal trade narrative to rebalance to discount of the day's range. Right, so here's the day's range, right? As you can see, we already hit it. So what other narrative am I truly looking at? The 15-minute fair value gap that was unfilled. As you can see here, this buy model is very premature as we sold off. Once I see this fake breakdown model, we respected discount broke down it, and we would see what? A deliver to the low. Since that did not happen, once we had that inverse, I took the longs. My price target 1 was here, price target 2 was here. We only hit the first target. And then we see how we swept the high, respect to discount once more, right? Again, swing low to swing high the day's range, respect to discount once more, right? Here is your 1 minute bullish in line with that bearish. You're short to what? That low to fill what? The full gap, right? We filled the gap here, but a full fill was lying here. So after that, right, how am I calling out the reversal on a higher time frame? Understanding this. We've already filled narratives lower. We already filled the gap. Here was my call. It's from a different chat, right? 5-minute imbalance is not respected. No short trade for me. I'm looking to see longs to 18,915 and 18,932. Let's go back on the charts now. 810 was the call out. Right, I called it here. Right, here's what I called it. And I was looking for what? 915, this high to what? 9532, right? So number one, what was my narrative for this target? The fact that we filled sell side, the fact that we filled the gap. I can see a reversal to what points? This high and 932s. And why is 932 so key for me? Because we've already sold off so much, right? And we failed to deliver to this 15-minute that I wanted before. Right? Understand that likely to hit here, right? And then what do we also have for 915 narrative? The 1 hour fair value gap lying here that was unfilled. So we already have a 1 hour break of structure downside. We see selling, right? What's likely to happen is what? A reversal to discount to fill this gap and then a move lower, right? Like this. Sold off to sell side, repriced to discount with the 1 hour fair value, and then sell off lower. Exactly what you saw here. Right? That's how I'm able to call that out. And let's go on to what setup you would look at. 5-minute chart, right? Like I said, again, right? 5-minute imbalance is not respected. So when did I know that we would run higher? When you see this bearish and this bearish in one candle, it gets inverse to the upside. So where's your point of entry, right? 5-minute inverse to target what? This high, then this high, right? Very simple stuff, right? And then I called out for the 18802 low of day on watch at 10:20 a.m. Right, so this was called near that low of day. Right, here's 18802, right? 10:20 a.m. It was called around here. Right, why was I looking at that? Right, what told me that we were going to go down there? Number one, we're reaching for it, but what did I see beforehand? Right, we saw a buy side sweep buy side sweep here. Right, we see a exact tick rejection of the 15-minute and the 1 hour rejected as well. What do we see? Internal sweep and then breakdown. Right, I took a small options trade short here for about a 30-point gain. But as you can see, markets, if they were efficient, they would just run lower here. But we came back, swept one more time, and then what do we see? Higher time frame swing low breakdown. 5-minute break of structure downside. Understanding that, what's likely the target after a 5-minute break of structure? Right, the low of day that I called out, 18802. That got absolutely destroyed. Right, coming on to 1059, 8691 and 867 on watch. Right, what are those targets? 8691 and 86678. Right, those targets were Wednesday's low of day. Right, previous day's low of day. Right, here's the 83s. 87s, right? And then I think you go on the 15. Where's 91 at? 91. Oh, I think I just mischarted that. But besides the point, it's still smacked. Right? 10:59 a.m. That was called out here. Right? And how am I looking at that? If this swing low sweeps, we would like to see what? A reversal back up to what? Discount of this range. Never happened. What do we see? Premium fair value gap respected. Premium fair value gap respected. Premium fair value gap respected. Premium respected. These are all short trades you can take. I ended up taking the shorts here down to this low. Right? Nice trade as well. Right? We ended up sliding lower. But how am I able to call out the market's movements with extreme precision? All about what if scenarios. If this fails to deliver, where are we likely headed to? If we deliver here and we break up, what happens next? If we fail to reprice this for value gap and we reverse, what's my target? It's all based on probabilities. I know that if we see this and I see this, there's a higher probability of this happening. That's all it is to execute and have very good and very precise analysis. And I'm very confident in my analysis. Right? But that is the May 23rd's full trading day. My callouts with timestamp proof, how I was able to execute, and a little bit of some of the trades I took today. I've took more, but I don't want to break all of those down in precise. But that is how the MP LLC team views the market, and execute with precision. We'll catch y'all in the next one.